शिवतम् इमा आपः शिवतम् इमा आपः शिवतम् इमा सर्वस्य भेषिजी इमा सर्वस्य भेषिजी इमा सर्वस्य भेषिजी इमा राष्ट्रस्य वर्धिनी इमा राष्ट्रस्य वर्धिनी इमा राष्ट्रस्य वर्धिनी
The geographical character and features dominated by the Sahyadri ranges supported Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj in establishing Swarajya. In the mid of these Sahyadri ranges stands tall the Koyna Dam to fulfill its goal, keeping an example of dominant character of Sahyadri ranges. Millions of years ago, the outpouring of hot lava gave birth to sturdy, rigid and harsh mountain ranges of Sahyadri. These huge ranges also parent many rivers, mainly the 5 rivers Panchaganga, which originates at one place. The Panchaganga temple at Mahabaleshwar is the original source of the river Krishna, Savitri, Gayatri, Venna and Koyna. The famous Koyna Dam and Koyna Hydroelectric Project is a man-built wonder on the Koyna River which flows through the Western Ghats. More than 50 years, this man-built amazing structure has played an important role in the development and progress of every sector across the state. Today, 1960 megavolts of electricity is generated through this project, which has emerged from the hard work and sacrifice of thousands of engineers. This project has also helped in the development of many industries and has illuminated many colonies. Also, many villages from the Sangli and Satara district are receiving water supply for irrigation. But the journey behind the success story of the Koyna Hydroelectric Project was not smooth or easy. The year 1901-1902, the period was of British rule. Koyna River, which originates at Mahabaleshwar and flows through the terrain, was considered as a concrete solution on the drought since the rainfall in this region is 5,000 to 6,000 millimeters. 81% of the rainfall blends into the mainstream of the river. The entire valley is 2,000 to 3,000 feet deep. Trampling on the difficult terrain of Sahyadri ranges, the then British officer H.L. Bill, along with his colleagues, set out for the expedition which marked the first step towards the mammoth and unique task. After combing the region of Koyna and Sahyadri ranges, an appropriate place was earmarked among the few villages for the dam. It was the Helwak village. In 1909, a detailed report was submitted to the government of the then Mumbai province with cost of an estimated 81,92,000. Meanwhile, the industries in Mumbai were growing and so the demand for electricity too increased. In the meantime, Myers, an engineer, indicated the possibilities of hydropower generation on Koyna River in the Hydroelectrical Possibilities in India survey. Meanwhile, some important developments took place. From 1917 to 1924, the project survey of Tata Hydroelectric Supply Company confirmed the location of Jalkewadi, but the company withdrew the project due to World War II. In 1930-31, a survey was again conducted by Tata Company, but due to World War II, the project was stalled once again. In 1946, a committee was secretly formed by the Bombay Electric Grid. The Deccan Manufacturers and Empire Association persistently followed and demanded the Koyna project. Due to lack of funds, the then Mumbai state excluded the project from the first 5-year plan of 1951. On March 16, 1952, Deccan Manufacturers and Empires Association organized a conference at Helbagh village. Along with Sant Gadge, Maharaj Bala Saheb Desai, C.D. Deshmukh, Karmavir Bhaurao Patil, Bhau Saheb Hire, Acharya Atre, Dr. Dhananjay Rao Gadgir and Kirloskar attended the conference. Finally, on April 2, 1952, the delegation of Helbagh Conference travelled to Delhi for a meeting with Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The project was approved, and finally, on January 16, 1954, the then Chief Minister Morarji Desai inaugurated the project. After many surveys, meetings and report, an appropriate Deshmukhwadi village site was earmarked for the dam. But the project would also affect 30,300 villages, including 101 villages, 3,755 houses, and 77,500 acres of land. The government provided proper compensation to the affected and also helped them during relocation and evacuation process. 101 villages were relocated into 5 districts. According to the final report of the Planning Board, the Koyna project was planned to be carried out in 2 phases. In the first phase of construction, target of storing 36.05 TMC water was planned at the height of 204 feet, while in the second phase of construction, about 98.5 TMC water storage was planned by increasing the height up to 268 feet. M.L. Chafekar was appointed as a chief engineer. Now the project was just not meant for irrigation, but also the important task was of power generation. The engineers geared up. Dam and Design Circle and Tunnel and Design Circle were the 2 board offices created by Chafekar and team. The actual construction finally started on December 2, 1956. The workers and engineers immediately started working and were busy doing their jobs. Before monsoon, flow of the river was diverted by constructing a dam. The place of construction site too was dried up. The excavation was carried out on either sides of riverbed until they reached the hard rock. The total construction of the Koyna's 53 monoliths were homogeneous type. The construction of 6 monoliths on both ends were in stone, while the rest were in rubble concrete. At that time, in Germany, 2 dams, Iker and Oker, were under construction in rubble concrete. Our engineers travelled to Germany to survey the dam. Construction was progressing in a phased manner. The theme project that illuminated, brightened the state was actually taking shape due to the hard work of the engineers, thousands of workers, and support and sacrifice of the villagers. 2 long lane galleries were taking shape inside the walls of the dam. The construction of the dam begins in a planned manner. Nearly 900 feet long, 5 feet wide, and 7 feet in height, the gallery was taking shape. Gallery is one of the most important parts. Measuring leakage, the pressure on the dam, checking the temperature of concrete are the important tasks done on a daily basis. The equipments like stress meter, thermometers, V-notch are kept in the gallery. A precise report and calculation of the water leakage from the dam is done on a daily basis in this gallery. With the dam walls, the drains too were being made curved for water to drain out easily. For the first time in the monsoon of 1961, the dam overflowed and the water started flowing out from the passage or drains. Meanwhile, for the increasing demand in the irrigation and electricity, the A.N. Khosla Committee completed 2 phases of the dam together with a slight change in the incision of the dam to a height of 10 feet and widening of the upper part. On June 29, 1962, the first 2 phases of Koyna Dam were combined. Finally, by 1964, the construction of the dam was completed. The mechanical division of Koyna built the curved doors. While constructing the Koyna Dam, 2 penstock were made on the right side of the wall for future power stations. Further, in 1975, 2 generators of 20 megawatt capacity were installed there. While the dam was under construction, work on power station had started in Pofari village, situated directly on the steep slopes of Sahyadri, 9 kilometers on the western side of the dam near to the village known as Navaja. For same, an intake tower was being manufactured at Navaja. Use of the steep slope from Navaja to Pofari was going to be utilized for rotating the turbine and generating power, for which a tunnel of 3,700 meters was being dug. Ideal use of high Sahyadri ranges. Preparation for underground power station of Pofari was in full swing. Here, of 8 turbines, 4 on each side were being installed. This is known as Koyna Phase 1 and 2. A large tunnel was built to enter the underground power station, which was known as Approach Tunnel. Instead of penstock, the less expensive header tunnels were chosen for the underground channels in Koyna area. At that time, due to underground pressure shafts, Rs 1.80 crore were saved. The length of the head race tunnel was 3.748 kilometers and the diameter was 21 feet. The tunnel work was started from 2 places at the same time, one from the side of Navaja's intake channel and other from audit side. Head race tunnel was the only tunnel which was dug from both the ends at the same time. There was a small difference of 4 inches when 2 sides came together. A surge well was designed for the bouncing water when the turbine was shut or on. The work was carried out in difficult mountain ranges and in very remote area. Total power generation from Koyna Dam: intake, head race tunnel, surge well, emergency valve tunnel, pressure shaft, intermediate audit, later at the base, ventilation tunnel, bardyard, cable tunnel, approach tunnel. The work of pressure shaft is tough, strenuous and laborious. The 4 pressure shaft from the emergency valve to power station travel through the Sahyadri mountains. A 10 feet diameter pressure shaft at a 45-degree angle and of 2,000 feet passes through a 12 feet diameter tunnel. From inside, steel pipes are attached to the pressure shaft. The engineers and workers worked day and night smashing the hard rock of Sahyadri. The most important place after this is the power station. One can experience the scientific invention in here. Due to force water, the fast revolving turbine for power generation, a water controlling spherical valve is here. How is electricity generated? Fast falling water speeds up the revolving motion of turbine blades. Turbine is connected to generator with the help of shaft. Rotors attached to shafts have magnetic plates with electric currents. Structure of these plates is north-south. Sets of copper wires around the rotor. While moving in the middle of the stator, the poles of the rotor, which create magnetic field, impact the electrons in the copper wire of the stator to produce electricity. A unique project was on the move to success with ingenuity, experimentation, and discovery of humans which was underway. Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru visited on April 10, 1960. On May 16, 1962, the first generator of Koyna was implemented by Honorable Chief Minister Yashwantrao Chauhan with both phases 1 and 2. Total 560 megawatt of power was generated. With the help of Sahyadri and Koyna, the engineers' hard work took the first step towards illuminating the state. With the ongoing project work, rehabilitation of the villagers was underway, as well as colony for the project employees built at Koyna Nagar. While the state was getting illuminated due to Koyna project, the day of natural disaster appeared. In the early hours of December 11, 1967, a devastating earthquake of 6.7 Richter scale triggered at Koyna Nagar. The earthquake, which was 6.7 Richter scale, was so severe that the tremors were felt in North Indian state and Southern Indian states as well. More than 200 people died and more than 2,000 were injured in Koyna Nagar and the adjacent areas. About 10,000 houses in 40 villages were destroyed. The bridges like Helwa collapsed. The damage was innumerable. After the earthquake, the dam was still standing firmly, but the dam walls were horizontally cracked at isolated places. The central government and UNESCO sent a team of experts to suggest immediate permanent strengthening measures. Under immediate solution, the cracks were repaired with epoxy resin and polyester, and grouting graniting were done on both the sides. Under the permanent strengthening measures, it was decided to create buttress design on the dam to strengthen it after the earthquake. Closure concrete was used to integrate old and new construction. At the same time, the number of cracks was found to be high at the site where the upper part of the dam was modified while completing 2 phases of the dam in a row. Therefore, the top and bottom were connected with the help of cable. Holes were drilled from the top and cables were inserted and concrete was filled. It was said that it looked as if the engineers had stitched the dam. But due to the repairs and strengthening, Koyna Dam has become a strong dam. Every year, the dam is a boon for sustainable irrigation and power generation. In March 1966, all the 8 machines of Phase 1 and 2 were operationalized and handed over to the Electricity Board. However, the water released from the porphyry site after power generation into Vashishta River is 133.20 meters above sea level. a golden opportunity to use the water again for power generation. And that is why it was planned to dig a 4.5-kilometer tunnel to stream the water release from Porphyry into the basin of Vaitarani River, construct Kolkewadi Dam to store it, and build a power station at Alore to generate electricity. The work on load-bearing dam type started on December 25, 1967. The water from Phase 1 and 2 flows to Kolkewadi through 42-degree angle into the Alore penstock and to the underground power station, which is 192 meters away. The water from Phase 1 and 2 flows to Kolkewadi through 42-degree angle into the Alore penstock and to the underground power station, which is 192 meters away. Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited installed 4 80-megawatt generators in Kolkewadi, adding 320 megawatt of power from water diverted from Phase 1 and 2. The fourth phase of the planning was to make adequate use of water in the reservoir and convert the entire Koyna hydropower project from base loading station to picking station, even though electricity was being generated from Phase 1, 2 and 3. Near Navja, where there was an intake tower of Phase 1 and 2, a plan was proposed to construct an underground power station of 1000 megawatt capacity from the water which directly flows to Alore through another tunnel. In 1985-86, a World Bank team visited the project site for the survey and checked the loan report submitted, while in 1989 it sanctioned a loan of 40 crore US dollars for this project. Building intake in fourth phase was a challenge as there was water stock in the dam. For this, it was decided to use the technique of lake tapping, which was frequently used in Norway with the help of their experts. A lot of work was to be done before lake tapping. It was not an easy task to be done on the huge and hard rocks of Sahyadri ranges. The head race tunnel, surge well, emergency valve tunnel, pressure shaft were very complex. Work from Navja to Surgewell and from Surgewell to Alore's underground power station tunnel had begun. The aim was to install 4 generators of 250 megawatt capacity. Although the fourth stage on paper was similar to the second stage, but in reality, there were endless difficulties. Surveying these hard and harsh mountains of Sahyadri was a challenge. Occasionally, the workers completed the work by tying ropes. Blasting was done by piercing cavities and filling them with explosives. Several safety measures were taken care of. As in third phase, Francis turbine was also used in the fourth phase. Key factors and aspects of Phase 4. 4 machines manufacturing 250 megawatt. HRT from the site of lake tapping to intake tunnel. Cement concrete lining of tunnel. Length of head race tunnel 4.22 kilometers. Diameter of surge well 69 feet, while height 430 meters. Design of pressure shaft at 58-degree angle on the ground. 4 pressure shafts of 590 meters. Work starts in full swing in the turbine hall. Thousands of labor and engineers were working day and night to install various machinery. In fourth phase, there was no space to build a switchyard. So country's first gas-insulated switchyard was erected by using modern technology of SF6 gas in the transformer hall of the power station. If in case the switchyard was installed outside, many acres of land would have gone under the yard. But the new technology switchyard solved many problems. The work of the power station with 2 intake tunnels was almost complete. This amazing project was taking shape with major components like the main power station. Now the preparation for lake tapping was in the final stages. The work on the tunnel under Lake Tap, the intake tunnel, was completed in 1997. Now to break the 6-meter rock through the tunnel below the reservoir was filled with explosives by piercing holes. Experts from Norway were deliberately called in. The possibility of some unexpected events while drilling holes in a rock under tremendous water pressure could not be ruled out, but it was a test of the engineer's courage, study, and decision taken after hard work and research. Finally, on March 13, 1999, in the presence of the then Chief Minister Narayan Rane and Deputy Chief Minister Gopinath Munde, Asia's first lake tapping was successfully carried out. As the key was pressed, the world saw the gushing water flow. The atmosphere was filled with joy, pride, and happiness. Each and every person present had a smile of pride. The engineers, countless workers and laborers were satisfied and proud of their hard work. Today, 1,000 megawatt of power is being generated from the 4th phase. Once again, strengthening of channels, the construction of Koyna project was proceeding through various stages. Continuous attention and importance was given to the construction of the main dam. During the 1967 earthquake, the non-overflow area of the dam was repaired and strengthened. But sewers were not repaired and strengthened. Strengthening of the sewers became necessary after the 1993 Killari earthquake, as well as to raise the capacity of the dam from 98 TMC to 105.25 TMC. The process of sewer strengthening was also necessary. In the first phase of strengthening, the foundation of the sewer was to be dug 25 meters wide, 25 meters deep, and 82 meters long. The rock was to be broken without endangering the construction of the dam. The rock was smashed by very controlled explosions. The length of the stilling basin was increased by 52 meters to 115 meters. During this process, to control the temperature of the concrete, actual ice was used, for which an ice factory was set up at the site. It was a threat to life while working on the strengthening of the sewers in the second phase. The work was completed in a very dangerous situation. The difficult task was done in a phased manner by constructing a temporary raft. The strengthening concrete, as well as to get the old and new concrete work of the sewers integrated, it was filled up with closure concrete. Soon after the work was completed in May 2006 during the rainy season, the dam was full and the water released at a speed of 1 lakh cusecs acknowledged strong and quality work. Why was the fourth phase expansion necessary? Krishna Valley Development Board was established in 1995 for Krishna River water distribution to increase the area of irrigation by using available water immediately. For new irrigation schemes, 50 TMC instead of 30 TMC water from the Koyna was provided to the drought areas where schemes were launched by Krishna Valley Corporation in Mishal and Tembu. Accordingly, 5-feet valve or flap gates were installed at the dam gates. 105 TMC instead of 98 TMC water was stored after the strengthening in 2006. Nevertheless, if water was released for irrigation, the water level of the dam would have decreased in summer, and the water level required at the lake tap site and above the intake tunnel would have been reduced by 12 to 13 meters, which was a threat to the turbine, as well as the possibility of power generation from Koyna plant being stopped. So the only option was to go to 618 meters deep for one more lake tapping to keep the power generation intact in the summer. The focus was to connect the 4-phase old HRT to extended HRT. A survey was followed by a plan of lake tapping, and the work started in 2001. The work on 4.5 kilometer long head race tunnel started. 2 intake tunnels, stop long gate shaft, trash rack shaft, service gate shaft. Engineers faced the challenge of connecting the extended HRT to old HRT. For this work, the power generation of 4th stage would have to be stopped for 200 days. The electricity board refused, and so the work stalled a little. However, after renewed efforts in 2010, work resumed after the electricity board closed the 4th phase for required period. The work started on July 16th and was completed on October 31st, 2010. The second lake tap was designed just like the first lake tap. The second lake tap was successfully inaugurated by the then Chief Minister Prithviraj Chauhan and Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar on April 25, 2012. Today, 1960 megawatt of power is being generated through Phase 1 to Phase 4 and the extended through Koyna Dam. At present, power is being generated from the power station, which is at the right side of the dam wall. Similarly, work is underway on the matters including tunnels for power generation by streaming water through tunnels on the left. Soon, it will start generating power. At the same time, Phase 5 is proposed at Humbarali Nala, Ozherde waterfall. Today, Koyna Dam is not only a major power generating hub in hydro project type, but also as a tourist destination. This beautiful area is of special importance. Ozherde Falls is a tourist attraction like Koyna Dam. Thousands of tourists visit here every year to see the Ozherde Falls. Koyna Sanctuary is well known. This sanctuary has played an important role in the Sahyadri Tiger project. The lush green dense bushes around Shivasagar, named after Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, beckon tourists and mountaineers. Spread on 426 square kilometers of forest, it got sanctuary status in 1985. Mountaineers are very much interested in places like Vasota, Chakdev, Nageshwar. Tigers, leopards, bears, deer, cows, various types of other animals, birds, reptiles are the wealth of this sanctuary. The irrigation department also developed a beautiful garden at the top of the dam for these tourists, which has increased the beauty of Koyna Sanctuary. The park, which is named as Nehru Memorial. The garden is built on the Panchasheel principles of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. The dome in the middle is a symbol of the universe. The beautiful garden, the photo gallery inside, depicts and tells the story of Koyna Dam construction. After independence, the country made significant progress in many fields, from ISRO's space missions to manufacturing industries and medical education sectors. But the essential thing for this progress of all these sectors is electricity. Before power generation started from non-conventional sources, projects like Koyna gave Maharashtra a big hand in the emerging times. The central government has achieved all the outstanding performance of good management, monitoring, storage capacity addition, strengthening and uninterrupted services being run by Koyna department for the last more than 50 years. The project was awarded the CVIP award by the government of 2019. Proper planning of the government, the relentless efforts of the engineers, employees, workers, as well as thousands of known and unknown hardworking, thousands and millions of families who have given up land for the dam, the electricity of the Koyna is still flowing in the form of Lakshmi, in the houses, in industries and various businesses, taking a key role in the progress of the state, and therefore the Koyna project is called the Lucky Line of Maharashtra. Through Koyna Dam, this energy of light will continue continuously and will increase.